Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the JCP Podcast. You're joined with us again. And today we're talking all things sort of a bit more current in social media and giving our opinions on them. So yeah, should be a good one.
It's like the social media lowdown.
Yeah, social media lowdown.
Miniseries?
What's been going on?
Yeah, well, what has been going on? You've been popping off a bit on LinkedIn, I must say.
I don't like that word.
What, popping off?
I feel like I'm not
phrase.
popping off. I am steadily increasing the performance of my personal brand.
So he's popping off.
Oh,
Like,
if I had a pound every time I heard
I
personal
guess.
brand this week.
Yeah, and I've just aside from that as well, I've been seeing little bits here and there, like more people talking about influencers on LinkedIn and like, you know, people of interest on LinkedIn. And I just wanted to sort of get your thoughts on it, both of you, and see what you thought about it, and you know, see what you thought.
So what do I think about influence on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a tough one because it's a different type of influencer. Because I don't think you really see many people being like, oh, here's a new spray tan product, or, you know, like you do on Instagram
Yeah.
and stuff. It's less promoting products, and as Jamie said, it's about personal branding.
Yeah.
It's about that's what being an influencer kind of really is on LinkedIn, isn't it? It's being an influencer for yourself rather than anything else. And as Jamie's doing, it's very much personal branding, but also helping out Mitchell and Stones as well by showing his online presence, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, like I said in the last episode, I think that LinkedIn has made like a big shift towards like creator content and like human content. I saw a good I can't remember who said it now, but a good comment on LinkedIn that I saw was rather than like B2B and B2C, LinkedIn is all like P2P, which is
People to people.
People to people, yeah.
yeah. So I think that's a really good analogy. And whilst I don't use LinkedIn for lead generation, I do it because like I want to build a cool network of like-minded people.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
Script.
Yeah, guys, we've actually got a little, you know, like they do on the news.
can you press the
right?
alt key, please?
Yeah. I use LinkedIn for that reason. I want to build like a big network of people that are like an authority in the space and like aren't afraid to like break the boundaries. And I feel like LinkedIn is so good for that because there's so many people trying to do it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, the argument to that could obviously be, well, if there's so many people trying to do it, then what makes it so special? But like everyone has their own niche on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their own topics that they talk about and like things that they specialize in, and that's why it's such like a cool platform to be a part of, especially as that shift towards like, what do you even call them, linked influencers.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what they're
it does
called.
flow quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, I feel like it works. Like you were saying, Callum, you were saying, you know, no one's going to be promoting the new spray tan and trying to sell it to their audience. However, I do see like sponsored posts to LinkedIn
What
creators,
are they doing?
but they are more like resources or like I
Yeah.
saw I can't remember who it was, but influencer in the marketing space on LinkedIn, or person of interest or someone with a strong personal brand. I don't know, it's all a bit new.
Yeah.
But they were basically sponsored by Oxford University because Oxford were doing this copywriting course. So I think you'll definitely see like more of that, but I do think it's mainly like personal brand and like networking.
The influence I think you see is more like promoting their
Their own.
knowledge rather than their
Oh.
like products.
Yeah.
So like because LinkedIn it's not really about product placement and stuff. It is more about industry
Yeah.
and industry knowledge and industry resources.
And do you think that's because it's like words first on LinkedIn? It's like more copy first.
Yeah.
Like there's media. You can add photos and videos and documents.
Well, because obviously
like
Instagram
anything.
is purely image based.
Yeah.
And on LinkedIn you don't have to have an image. So there's a big difference there where like on your LinkedIn feed, do you see like mainly images or do you see quite a lot of like just kind of
It's a good mixture.
Yeah.
But what you have to remember though is that like the rules still apply for LinkedIn. When I talk about people have like really short attention spans now, that still applies to LinkedIn. So like a lot of the text posts I see, I skim for
definitely.
information. I don't like sit there and read it word for word because it's just long.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time for that. You know what I mean? So
It's when you see chunky paragraphs, it's just a no from me.
If you like split it up and make the points you're making super concise,
maybe even an emoji.
Maybe even an emoji. Keep it digestible, guys.
Yeah.
Keep it like smooth. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get you. Easy to read.
Yeah.
I suppose it's because like I don't go on LinkedIn or I don't go on social media to go and read paragraphs and paragraphs. I'll go to a blog post.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll read a book. Yeah. But I think as well, we're talking about image based or like copy based on LinkedIn. I don't know how to word this, but sort of obviously there's more young people coming on LinkedIn. And I feel like it's becoming more popular amongst young people slowly, kind of. It depends. I think we're a bit biased because obviously we're in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it feels natural to have a LinkedIn and post on it.
I think young people, that's, I'd say, like 16 plus kind of thing. Whereas, because obviously it is a business kind of platform, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, young people in that sense is 16 plus, whereas you say young people for TikTok.
Yeah, that's
like
a different.
it's a different type of young people.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But I was gonna go more on the fact of like mental health wise. Like, do you think that's good for like young professionals?
What, to be exposed to kind of like?
Because it's even though like there are images, I don't feel like it's aesthetic focused at all.
No.
So, but
I mean,
yeah,
it depends really, because like. I use LinkedIn, or I still use LinkedIn to kickstart my career.
Yeah.
So, if you're like me or like us, where you have that drive from a young age, which there's more people that have that than I realised originally, because originally I just thought I was a bit of a weirdo because I wanted to spend my, young adult years just sat working my ass off instead of getting trashed out somewhere, whatever, partying. But there is a lot more people with that same sort of attitude, and I think that LinkedIn is good in that respect because it gives young people an opportunity to kickstart their career.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to get to where you want in life is by working on yourself. You have to be quite selfish at times, I'll be honest, because you have to do what's best for you, and the only way you can do that is by self-developing.
Yeah.
So giving young people that platform is, I would say it's good because there was never really an opportunity for young people to do that before LinkedIn kind of opened up in that sense.
And it's probably like showing different young people industries that they wouldn't have known about before, or different sort of jobs, like, oh, I could have a job in that. Like, that's crazy. Like when I see like chief meme officer being advertised as a job role at like massive companies like Lounge Underwear or like the likes of like Innocence and things like that, it's crazy to me. And like if I knew that was a potential job role, like would I have been on LinkedIn 5 years ago? That's a bit of a stretch, but like 2 or 3 years ago.
You're 13.
Do you reckon we're gonna get people writing down on their like sheets of what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, a meme officer.
Chief meme officer.
I reckon you genuinely will. There'll be people like if they knew that existed, they'd be like, oh, I want to do memes all day.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like the change in jobs now. It's like I keep seeing jobs with like TikTok creation. Can you imagine that there's like kids in like school now that are like, I'd really love to just make TikToks.
Is there a uni course now for like TikTok creation? I think there isn't there.
Surprise me.
Because like I know they recently introduced ones like gaming and stuff. Like they're slowly really introducing the most not random, but like most unique kind of courses.
Changing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of making that transition towards short form video content, which we discussed in a previous podcast. It's like that attention span is reducing. The way to keep your audience hooked now is through concise, quick information. So teach young people how to do that, because that is the future. That is the way that it's going. We unfortunately are going to get more impatient, and I don't want to say lazier, but I guess it kind of is in that sense.
Well, it's because everything's improving. It's just easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like,
it's not our
fault. Why would
why
you make it like
the
harder?
Extra effort. No, I 100% get that. And one thing I just wanted to add about LinkedIn, this is not even a talking point, but I just really appreciate how everyone is like hyping you up on it over there. Like I just feel like there's a lot of positivity.
It's a nice community, isn't it? To be fair, you don't really get that toxic community. I'd say
have to, like,
because it's business focused. I'd say.
Yeah.
I feel like
no one's going to go out there on a limb and just talk shit about you because
I feel
you've
like
got your company behind you and your own personal brand behind you.
Not that you have...
can't hide behind a profile picture, can you?
Yeah, to be fair, like, you can't just make a LinkedIn profile and not have a company and not have a name, and then no one's going to... They'll probably just delete the comment, yeah.
I feel like it's like a journey, though, to, like, find your like, tribe. Was how it was referred when I was having a conversation with someone on LinkedIn about it earlier today. And it's like you've got to find the people that you can click with and relate to. So for us, it's very much people in the digital marketing space and people that work with influencers and people that do personal branding for big CEOs, entrepreneurs. And those people can relate to us because they've been in our shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the support that I get from people that are making like some crazy moves in the industry is mental, because they can see a bit of themselves in us because they started out with that drive and with that burning passion.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Moving on to like more short form video content and stuff like that. We've talked about it in a previous episode, but like, I don't know if we really delved into this as much, but like, do you think every platform needs every feature? Like Facebook having a podcast feature that they deleted a year later, or like Instagram even having Reels. Why does Facebook need Reels? Like, why does this need that? Like, there's so many examples. I could be here all day. And I feel like it's really changed kind of recently because everyone wanted to get on the TikTok hype, kind of.
I really hate it, to be honest.
I absolutely hate it.
Like, because it used to be, for example, Snapchat was kind of the first big stories, and now you've got Instagram stories, Facebook stories, YouTube stories. Who needs YouTube
you have TikTok
stories?
stories?
But what's the point in that? TikTok is short form content. TikTok is short form content, and now you're going, oh, let's put even shorter, meaningless content on there.
But it's...
Are they trying to maybe make it more kind of premium, their TikTok, so that you do post better TikToks, and then just the worst ones get kept for stories? I don't really know.
I think it just completely dilutes the meaning of what a unique social media platform should be.
Yeah.
Because when social platforms are created, are developed, they always have like a unique... I don't want to say unique selling point, it's such a cliche business word, but that is what it is. It's like a unique feature.
Literally.
So like TikTok, their whole thing is like very similar to Musical.ly because it's basically the same company, isn't it? So
well, I think it actually just is the
it
same
is
company.
Okay, yeah, it is the same company. But the whole thing was short form video content. Snapchat, it was all about the fact that the snaps disappear and that you can have stories. And Instagram's always been like photo first, like aesthetic stuff. But if you keep adding all of these features to every single social media platform, then you may as well just use one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but...
Well, they're just trying to beat each other, really, aren't they?
But I feel like it's a losing game, because now I'm being put off all of you. I don't want
Sack
to...
it off, sack it off.
Stop what you're doing. Go back to the original. But, like, have you seen, like, Instagram's new feature? Instead of it being, like, the regular 1080 by 10... I know that sometimes they're, like, stretch out and all of that on the feed. But, like, instead of it being, like, just a regular square, or whatever the shape of the dimension... Don't come at me.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's just, like, this, like, long...
Yeah, it's just like seamless.
It's got like the weird colour on it, and I can't get behind it.
It's meant to be more seamless, isn't it? So you're kind of always in a picture.
And it's annoying for people that write longer captions, because even though I don't go to Instagram to read loads, sometimes a long caption is necessary, and I want to read it, obviously. And I was looking at one today, and it makes it so much harder to read it, just the way that it works. I mean, I suppose it's probably still in testing and things, but like, why? Like, I get things need to evolve.
Yeah.
But if there's a million users telling you, please don't do this, why are you doing
that happens a lot with Snapchat. Like, the amount of times you'd be like, you see on like Twitter or something, like, oh, has everyone seen the new Snapchat update?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's awful. And like, there's some things that they do revert back to. Because I guess the only way you really can see if people like it is just put it out there, and because obviously it's a live platform, you can't just change it. So there's no real harm in doing that. But yeah, it doesn't seem particularly necessary what Instagram have done.
There is also like drastic changes that platforms like Snapchat have made that people like complained like crazy about. It's like, oh my god, I hate this, I'm never using Snap again. And then they're still on there now. Like, you just get used to it. So I think that fair enough, it's ballsy, right? Because they're like, here's a new update that may not work out and we may get loads of shite for this. But they put it out anyway. And about 80% of the time, people just get used to it.
Yeah.
So I can like understand the need for innovation, but sometimes it's just needless.
Yeah.
And in this instance, I feel like it is like Instagram was just like fine how it was. They're trying to go for the whole like TikTok endless scrolling thing.
Yeah.
Which is what Instagram is anyway.
So you kind of get lost. I think they want you to be like lost in the feed kind of thing. So
But I'm already lost in the Instagram feed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be lost in it now because my phone will be chucked behind me. Because
I think playing devil's advocate, it's quite good for marketing. We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
Would we be talking about Instagram right now if they hadn't made this new kind of controversial feature, as it were? You know, it gets conversation going, and there's always an uproar of any new feature. Instagram stories, when they were introduced, because obviously it was copying Snapchat stories, that was a massive like uproar, and now Instagram stories is, I'd say, probably used more than Snapchat stories, definitely.
Yeah, for like public use. Yeah, I think.
Because I don't really see many of my friends using Snapchat stories anymore, but it's more Instagram stories.
Yeah.
So I guess their kind of point is to just try and beat the people that are currently doing the things that are good.
Mm-hmm.
So Instagram will hopefully overtake TikTok,
Reign
but
supreme. Yeah.
you don't. That's not really how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah.
So yeah, when it comes to the stories, you know, being authentic has been a massive thing on those stories, and I feel like that's developing quite a lot now in terms of being authentic on social media. For example, Be Real has literally like blown up. Do you use Be Real?
I do indeed use Be Real.
Do you use it?
No, I just don't have the time or patience.
No, neither.
Because if I get a ping on my phone, the last thing I want to do is whip it out, take a photo, you know, because...
No, I think, I don't, if I'm sat at my desk or whatever, I'm going to ignore it. But if I'm out and about, I kind of see it as that, like, 1 second every day sort of thing. It's like, I'm just...
Yeah.
I don't know. And
I
the
do
way
1
you
second
flick,
every day thing.
I don't, but I do Be Real. And I feel like it's kind of...
Yeah,
because you can flick through. And it's just quite nice. Although most of the time it's a bit sad because I'm like at a laptop because it always gets me like either during the workday or at night. Yeah. So I'm always scrolling through.
Yeah. So when it comes to like authentic content, that is massive right now. Yeah. So do you think that's going to continue? Do you think we're going to see kind of just more and more just unedited, unfiltered nonsense, or we're going to start kind of going full circle and get back to kind of like quality content? If that makes sense. Or do you think people just now enjoy the authenticity? I
think authenticity like that, even if it's short content, even if it's like, non-filtered content and things like that, or, all of those sorts of things, because obviously like authenticity and like being real and all of that comes in different ways. But like, I feel like it's going to be full circle because before... Yeah, I feel like it's going to be full circle.
I think...
What do you think?
That I agree with you to an extent, and the reason I say that is because people have now clocked on to this whole like authenticity thing and are trying to be authentic.
Yeah, it's like when does it not become authentic?
Yeah, if you're trying to be authentic, if you're just like, oh, let me put like an extra couple of emojis in, or like use a bit of slang in my copy, if you're like thinking about it, forcing it, it's not authentic. You're just like pretending. You know. Well,
how do you know? How do you really know if
someone's
being authentic
that you
or
don't?
not?
But it's like. It's the whole thing of like being honest and open with your audience. Yeah. So every time that I make a post, I know that it's formatted in a way that conveys my personality. So yes, I do swear. Yes, I crack a joke here and there, and I refer to myself in third person sometimes, and sometimes I waffle. Sometimes my copy isn't always concise, but that is me.
You kind of type how you talk.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, not all the time, because sometimes I chat a load of crap, but I try my best. Yeah, so I think that definitely there will come a point where authenticity isn't authenticity anymore. It will probably just keep going full circle like that till the end of time.
Swings and roundabouts. Yeah.
But that authenticity right now is what is like driving meaningful communities. I'm
enjoying the shift personally.
So am I.
Like, I'm not even thinking of like LinkedIn and stuff like that. I'm thinking of like me or like me, my work and stuff. I'm thinking of me going through Instagram, scrolling, and like not every photo or video of someone on there, an influencer I follow, is like edited and like this and that. I feel like it's actually like it's better for you, obviously, because you shouldn't be seeing that sort of stuff all day because it's not real. So I'm very much enjoying the shift. Yes. Yeah.
I think one great example of personal brand, the authenticity of like your personal brand being really hard to tell is, Francis, what was it, Bourgeois? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes,
like there was
TikTok guy.
there was a massive thing, wasn't there? Because obviously his kind of whole thing is he's authentic. He loves trains. That's why people love him. But then there was like all these images come out. Is he authentic? Then people were like, oh, I don't like him because he might not be authentic. And that's showing that authenticity is massive at the moment.
I feel like that sheds a lot on like neurodiversity as well. So people that may be neurodivergent, so suffer with like ADHD and autism and stuff like that. I feel like there's like a big shift towards like being open about that sort of thing now.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot on LinkedIn. There's some really inspirational people, like Ellie Middleton is a prime example. Like she's neurodiverse and she shouts about it and she gets like so much respect in return. So being authentic like that can truly pay off now on social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like people that are neurodiverse used to feel as though they couldn't shout about it and be themselves, and they had to like mask all the time and just hide it. But the way that it's changed now is that like people can be completely themselves, and that just makes social media more enjoyable for everyone. So like, why would it not be a good thing? You know what I mean?
No, 100% agree with that. That TikTok guy, Francis, he has literally, he's so big now. It's so crazy. Like, he was just, you know, running after trains, and then he's in like Gucci adverts and like doing these crazy things with all these celebrities, and like what, in like the space of a year or something.
It just shows that the bigger companies are seeing that this authentic content's resonating with people, because if they see him, who is an authentic character, promote one of their products, I think, oh, he must like it because he's an authentic character.
Why would he lie?
Yeah, exactly. Then they've earned the trust of them by being authentic. And so, do you think by him doing that Gucci stuff and now becoming more kind of like mainstream, do you think he loses some of that authenticity?
No, because he's still making the same content that he used to make.
Yeah, he is, to be fair.
Whereas I feel like a lot of like pinfluencers of the world, like once they start, you know, getting big names, big brand names after them and things like that, that's like things shift.
Yeah.
But if you still keep to yourself, your same morals, same values, all of that sort of stuff, and your content is still the same, or it's getting better, but not because you're like changing it in that way, just because like maybe you have better access to like cameras and stuff and all that sort of stuff, then people are just going to love you more, because I think people are going to really enjoy like going on that come up with you. Almost, it's like a journey. I'm like watching you and I'm basically with you. Parasocial bond.
Yeah.
Parasocial bond.
Yeah. People do like do like a good journey.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, I was here when they weren't big time, you know.
That's
That's
me.
like every
Exactly.
single like
Yeah.
That's
person
me
with, like,
with
a musician.
artists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they try and discover them early and follow their authentic journey.
Yeah.
I think kind of going back to like influencers going mainstream, I feel that they will always have an influence, but my concern when I see influencers like that is influencers that started creating a type of content, continued making that type of content, and then it just loses all of its effect. So I can think of a few like influencers off the top of my head that I won't name, but like they've consistently created the same type of content for like a long period of time.
Yeah, you have to
And
evolve.
it dies out. So it's like, it's one thing creating effective content that resonates with your audience initially, but it's another thing completely to change your content to make sure that it's consistently resonating with your audience and making sure that it's fresh and it's new and it's exciting. It's going to keep drawing that emotion, because the second that you lose that grip on your audience, your influence is gone.
Yeah.
That's a really good clip there. I was like, jeez.
That was a power moment right there. Level up.
See, yeah, I get that, but there's like a real rise in like comfort YouTubers, comfort influencers and stuff like that. And so I feel like people, I mean, I suppose it really depends on the individual, like the individual influencer, content creator, but like a lot of people are really enjoying like people that make the same sort of content. Like, sorry, I just clicked my knuckles.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, so I don't know if like, I mean, yeah, I suppose it depends on the individual, but there is definitely a rise in like, oh my god, that's my comfort content creator of that platform.
But that only
So I
lasts
don't
so
know.
long, isn't it? Because it has to evolve, otherwise you do just become irrelevant.
Ouch.
I don't know.
But like,
It's,
but I don't think Francis Bourgeois will be doing the same train videos in like 2 years.
that's
Thing
like
is,
an example
definitely
of
not.
that like whole like stagnating thing though that I was talking
Yeah.
about. Because it's like, if he's just doing train watching, then it's just him watching a train in different locations. But I think of like influencers that I watch for comfort, people like Kelly Wakasa is a prime example of that. He's a YouTuber, and he lives in New York in a big house called Your Mum's House, funny enough, and he creates like vlogs and like fun videos. But like whilst the like topic of the video stays the same, well, the topic of each video stays the same, the idea behind it and like what he does within it is different. Yeah. So whilst Francis's main topic could be trains, he could create a bunch of different content, not just doing train watching, but also like related to trains.
Yeah.
So it's like, it goes back to the whole thing of identifying your niche, which is like, for me, it's like my apprenticeship and like young entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So I talk about all things under that topic. So that is just how you stay relevant, is by producing new content under a general topic. Yeah. You get me?
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I don't know if he does like just TikTok or if he's on YouTube or if he's other places.
That's how a lot of people kind of like convert, don't they? That they change to YouTube to get more long form content.
I think he'd really benefit from YouTube, to be honest. A person,
you could do just like a nice long form vlog.
People would love vlogs from him if you're watching.
Because remember, you only see him on the platform going, oh, look at the train. Whereas he could do like, oh, here's how I start my day, and here's how I get to these train stations. And
there's so much,
the journey in between.
Yeah.
But I think he will evolve it.
Yeah.
And I hope he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, then you can subscribe down below. All the Mitchell & Stone socials are ready for you to follow and engage with. And as per usual, our LinkedIns will be below actually working this time.
Cheers, Penny, for that.
My bad.
So go ahead and you can connect with us there and see what we're doing. Is there something you'd like to say?
Yes, there is. Can you tell? We have a super exciting guest on the podcast next week. Yeah, we do. So if you don't have it on already, click the bell, get the notifications, and keep your eyes out, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. And I'm super excited to bring this lovely individual on the podcast to share their insight about their exciting life through personal branding, digital marketing.
You're giving too much away.
All that stuff.
I said too much.
Yeah, right.
We gotta go. But yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.